In life, we often seek meaning in the grand gestures, the extraordinary events that we believe define our relationships. However, it is the subtle shifts in connection that reveal the depth of a relationship, particularly in how a woman expresses growing interest. Contrary to the common notion that love or affection must be shown through extravagant displays, Stoicism teaches us that true fulfillment and connection lie in the ordinary moments, the quiet presence that carries immense significance. A woman's deepening affection often manifests in these simple, everyday instances where her attention is not loud, but profound. Perhaps it is the way she lingers a little longer in conversation, or the quiet comfort she finds in your company. These moments, though small, carry an unmistakable weight. They reflect her contentment, her growing sense of connection with you. Her presence, calm and consistent, becomes a reflection of something deeper, an unspoken understanding that doesn't require validation through grand declarations. This aligns closely with Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes finding joy in the present and appreciating life's simplicity. The Stoics believed that fulfillment wasn't found in wealth or status, but in living according to nature, in embracing the present moment. Similarly, when you tune into these subtle shifts, you begin to understand that the essence of connection is not in the pursuit of more, but in the quiet acceptance of what is. In a world obsessed with external validation, these small but powerful gestures serve as a reminder of the Stoic idea that we should not seek to control others or the external world, but focus instead on our internal state. As Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Similarly, the strength of a relationship depends not on external displays, but on the quality of the interactions that take place in the quieter moments. By paying attention to these seemingly insignificant moments, you begin to cultivate a deeper awareness of the bond that is forming. These moments are like the threads that weave a fabric of mutual understanding, where silence is as meaningful as words. This mirrors the Stoic belief that tranquility and inner peace arise from accepting and appreciating what is within your control, including the small, meaningful connections you experience with others. Stoicism teaches us that we don't need to chase after excitement or constant affirmation to find meaning. Instead, meaning is found in accepting the simplicity of the present moment and allowing relationships to evolve naturally, without the pressure of expectations. In relationships, just as in life, it is not the grand gestures that sustain us, but the quiet, consistent presence of another person, an embodiment of living in accordance with nature. When you are mindful of these small shifts, you may notice how these moments reflect not only her growing attachment, but also your own capacity to connect on a deeper, more authentic level. This is the Stoic way of viewing relationships, not as something to be conquered or displayed, but as something to be nurtured through presence, attention, and acceptance. 2. Embracing the everyday Stoic wisdom in life's simple moments. In the often overlooked corners of life, there exists a profound beauty that many of us fail to see. Stoicism, in its essence, teaches us to appreciate the ordinary. It is in these small, seemingly mundane moments that we discover the true nature of happiness and contentment. Consider the subtle gestures of a woman who increasingly desires to spend her time with you in the most unremarkable of settings. Whether she is running errands or sitting beside you while watching a movie, her actions reflect a deep, unspoken affection. These moments are not grand declarations of love, nor do they need to be. They are far more meaningful because they reveal that she values your presence, not for the circumstances or excitement around you, but for the simplicity of shared time. This reflects one of the core teachings of Stoicism. Happiness is not found in chasing external pleasures, but in the acceptance and enjoyment of what is present, here and now. Stoicism encourages us to let go of the pursuit of extravagant desires or idealized visions of how life should be, and instead to embrace the current moment, whatever form it may take. The woman's actions remind us that the most profound connections often arise in the everyday, not in the extraordinary. In much the same way, Stoic philosophy invites us to recognize that ordinary moments are not void of meaning. They are, in fact, rich with opportunities for growth, connection, and appreciation. When we learn to cherish these seemingly insignificant experiences, we align ourselves with a deeper understanding of contentment. We stop measuring happiness by how often we experience highs or successes, and instead find joy in the simple act of being. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, emphasized that we must focus on what we can control: our thoughts, reactions, and attitudes, and let go of what lies outside our grasp. When the woman chooses to be with you during unplanned everyday events, she is exercising a Stoic mindset without even realizing it. She is not searching for perfection or waiting for a better moment. Instead, she is finding value in the now, in the company she keeps. Stoicism also teaches us to be present and mindful, to appreciate the small, often unnoticed aspects of our lives. When we are truly present, we begin to see that the quiet moments of companionship, whether driving to the store or sitting in a park, are filled with a quiet joy that can often surpass the thrill of grand events. Our fast-paced, success-driven society tends to overlook the value of these small moments. We are encouraged to constantly seek out the next big achievement or the next exciting experience. However, Stoicism reminds us to step back and reevaluate. The pursuit of happiness is not about filling our lives with more, it is about learning to appreciate what we already have. It's in the daily conversations, shared silences, and mundane activities where true happiness resides. This woman's actions, her desire to spend time in ordinary settings, reflect her deep understanding of this truth. She has found joy in the present moment, in the simple act of being together. It's a reminder that sometimes the most meaningful connections are built not on extravagant gestures, but on the quiet, consistent presence of another person. As Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. This woman's thoughts and actions reveal a contentment rooted in the present. She is not waiting for something better or more exciting to come along. Instead, she is fully engaged with the present, and that is where her affection and happiness lie. In our own lives, we can apply this Stoic principle by shifting our focus away from chasing after fleeting pleasures or idealized moments. Instead, we can learn to appreciate the everyday moments we might otherwise overlook. By doing so, we begin to cultivate a deeper sense of contentment and fulfillment. When we approach life with this mindset, we free ourselves from the constant striving for more, for better. We begin to realize that true happiness is not found in the extraordinary, but in the ordinary moments that make up our daily existence. These moments, whether shared with a loved one or experienced in solitude, hold the potential for profound joy if we choose to see them that way. 3. The Stoic path to love: building strong relationships through composure and consistency. In the realm of relationships, Stoicism offers profound wisdom that helps us cultivate bonds built on trust, stability, and emotional clarity. At its core, Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of focusing on what we can control and accepting what lies beyond our influence. This mindset, when applied to our relationships, becomes a powerful tool for fostering deep connections while reducing the emotional turbulence that often disrupts them. When we consistently show up in a composed and steady manner, we create an environment of trust and security for our partner. Just as the Stoics remind us to remain calm and centered, this sense of emotional equilibrium allows the other person to feel safe, both emotionally and mentally. This sense of reliability becomes a foundation for their emotions to develop naturally, free from pressure or undue expectations. Stoicism teaches that external events are beyond our control, but our reactions to those events are entirely within our grasp. This principle, when applied to interpersonal relationships, allows us to shift our focus from trying to control our partner's thoughts or feelings to managing our own responses. Instead of being swayed by fleeting emotions or uncertainties, we learn to stay grounded, offering a steady presence in the relationship. This stability doesn't just benefit us, it gives our partner the space to grow emotionally, fostering a deeper connection built on mutual understanding and respect. Another vital aspect of Stoicism is understanding that attachments, though natural, can often lead to emotional turmoil if not approached with the right mindset. By practicing Stoic principles, we learn to love without becoming overly attached or dependent on the outcome. This doesn't mean detaching from the person emotionally, but rather developing a healthy perspective where love is expressed freely without clinging to unrealistic expectations. This form of emotional freedom allows love to flourish more naturally, as it is unburdened by the fear of loss or disappointment. The Stoics believed that virtues such as wisdom, courage, and temperance were essential to living a fulfilled life, and these virtues are equally crucial in relationships. Wisdom teaches us to understand both ourselves and our partners more deeply, allowing us to navigate misunderstandings with empathy and patience. Courage empowers us to communicate openly, even when conversations are difficult or uncomfortable. Temperance helps us moderate our desires and expectations, preventing us from imposing too much pressure on the relationship. At times, misunderstandings or disagreements may arise. The Stoic approach to conflict resolution involves remaining composed and refraining from reacting impulsively. By practicing self-control, we can engage in difficult conversations with a level head, focusing on finding solutions rather than winning arguments. This ability to remain calm under pressure not only strengthens the relationship, but also fosters mutual respect, as both partners learn to approach disagreements with reason and compassion. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us to practice gratitude for the present moment. In relationships, this translates to appreciating your partner for who they are, rather than constantly seeking to change or mold them into someone they are not. This acceptance is key to creating a loving and lasting connection. When we learn to appreciate our partner's strengths and weaknesses without judgment, we offer them the emotional space to feel valued and understood, deepening the bond between us. Another essential Stoic lesson in relationships is the concept of impermanence. The Stoics constantly reminded themselves that life is fleeting, and this realization applies to our relationships as well. By acknowledging the transient nature of life, we learn to cherish each moment we share with our loved ones. This mindfulness allows us to be more present, attentive, and emotionally invested in the relationship without being weighed down by fear or anxiety about the future. 4. Jealousy, a Stoic approach to emotional investment in relationships. In the realm of human emotions, jealousy often emerges as a complex and potent force, particularly within intimate relationships. When a woman feels jealousy, it is not merely a sign of possessiveness or insecurity. Rather, it can be seen as an indicator of her emotional investment in the relationship. From a Stoic perspective, recognizing this emotion is crucial, but how we choose to respond is even more important. Jealousy, like any strong emotion, provides insight into one's attachments and desires. It reveals the extent to which a person values the relationship and, to some degree, the fear of losing it. However, Stoicism teaches us that while emotions are natural, they must be managed with reason and virtue. The goal is not to suppress feelings entirely, but to address them thoughtfully, ensuring that they do not lead to irrational actions or harm to the relationship. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes self-control and wisdom in navigating emotions. For the Stoic, jealousy is an opportunity for reflection. Rather than seeing it as a flaw or something to be exploited, it becomes a signal and invitation to explore the underlying concerns and vulnerabilities that give rise to it. By understanding the root causes of jealousy, both partners can foster a deeper sense of trust and stability, which are essential to a harmonious relationship. It is important to resist the temptation to exploit another's emotional vulnerability. Manipulating or using someone's jealousy for personal gain undermines the principles of trust and respect that are foundational to any meaningful partnership. The Stoic path advocates for honesty and open communication in these situations. When jealousy arises, addressing it calmly and directly allows both individuals to reaffirm their commitment to each other and to the shared values that guide their relationship. Trust, in Stoic terms, is built upon mutual understanding and the recognition that external events, including the behavior of others, are outside of one's direct control. What remains within one's control is their own response to these events. By practicing emotional regulation and focusing on internal virtues, such as patience and empathy, one can create an environment where jealousy is acknowledged without being feared or weaponized. Jealousy, in a relationship, when viewed through the lens of Stoic philosophy, becomes an opportunity for growth rather than a threat. It highlights the emotional investment of both individuals, but requires careful management to ensure it does not devolve into possessiveness or insecurity. By addressing jealousy with maturity, honesty, and a commitment to Stoic virtues, couples can strengthen their relationship, fostering deeper trust and emotional resilience. 5. Emotional mastery, building stronger relationships through calm and respect. In the philosophy of Stoicism, emotional mastery is not about manipulation or control over others. Instead, it is about cultivating self-discipline, empathy, and understanding. When confronted with the emotions of others, particularly in intimate relationships, the Stoic approach emphasizes calm, respect, and a thoughtful response. Imagine a situation where jealousy arises in a relationship. A man of high character, influenced by Stoic principles, does not seek to manipulate or provoke further negative emotions. Instead, he takes the opportunity to demonstrate his integrity by acknowledging the emotion, understanding its root, and responding with calm and respect. This response serves a dual purpose. First, it reinforces the stability of the relationship. Second, it aligns with the Stoic belief that external emotions, those of others, are outside our control, but how we choose to react to them is entirely within our power. The key to this approach lies in the Stoic concept of apatheia, often misunderstood as emotional detachment. In reality, apatheia means freedom from being overwhelmed by destructive passions. It does not imply indifference to another person's feelings, but rather a thoughtful engagement with them. When a partner expresses jealousy, for example, a Stoic man understands that this emotion, though uncomfortable, is a natural human response. Instead of fueling this feeling with unnecessary drama, he remains composed. His aim is not to suppress the jealousy or dismiss it, but to offer reassurance and security, thus strengthening the connection without escalating the conflict. A high-value individual, through the lens of Stoic wisdom, places the health and integrity of the relationship above ego-driven reactions. He does not view jealousy as a threat to his personal dignity, but as a moment that requires patience, empathy, and understanding. By doing so, he avoids the traps of unnecessary conflict and emotional volatility. In this way, the Stoic man ensures that both he and his partner move forward together with a stronger sense of trust and connection. 6 Reflections of Desire, the Stoic interpretation of emotional expression. In the Stoic understanding of human behavior, external changes often reflect internal states. When a woman begins to pay more attention to her appearance, it can be viewed as an outward manifestation of her deepening romantic sentiments. This act is not driven by superficial concerns like vanity, rather, it is a natural alignment between her evolving emotions and the way she presents herself to the world. Such subtle transformations, whether in her choice of clothing, hairstyle, or overall grooming, are an expression of her desire to convey her best self in your presence. Stoicism teaches that we must observe these changes with a measured and rational perspective, understanding that they are not merely aesthetic adjustments but windows into her inner world. Every shift, however slight, mirrors a broader emotional journey. From a Stoic viewpoint, it is essential to remain mindful of these signals, neither overestimating their significance nor disregarding them entirely. They are part of the natural flow of human emotions, which, though they may affect external actions, do not necessarily dictate our core values or self-control. In recognizing these nuances, we do not surrender to emotion or allow it to dominate our perceptions. Rather, we acknowledge it as part of the broader human experience, deserving neither condemnation nor undue celebration. The Stoic perspective encourages a balance, acknowledging emotional undercurrents while maintaining a commitment to reason and virtue. By observing the interplay between emotion and appearance, we gain insights into the motivations and desires that shape human interactions without becoming ensnared by them. As we continue to navigate relationships, the Stoic approach reminds us to focus on what lies within our control. A woman's decision to adjust her appearance may reveal her emotional depth, but it is not something we can or should attempt to manipulate. Instead, we focus on our own conduct, on how we respond to these subtle signals with integrity, patience, and respect. Stoicism advises us to meet the situation with composure, allowing these external changes to inform our understanding without leading us astray from our commitment to rational thought and virtuous action. In this way, we can appreciate the symbolic importance of changes in appearance, but without assigning them undue weight. They become part of the fabric of human interaction, enriching our understanding of others without dictating our responses. 7. Embracing the flow, a Stoic perspective on relationships. The Stoic philosophy invites us to observe the ebb and flow of life with clarity and openness, especially when it comes to our relationships. By cultivating a mindset rooted in Stoicism, we learn to embrace changes without falling prey to judgment or assumptions. This approach encourages us to appreciate our partner's efforts while refraining from overanalyzing their actions. When we focus on simply being present, we allow our relationships to unfold naturally. This organic growth thrives in an environment free from rigid expectations and undue pressure. Stoicism teaches us that relationships are not merely about meeting benchmarks or fulfilling preconceived notions. They are living entities that require patience and understanding. Instead of fixating on how a partner's actions fit into our narrative, we can shift our focus to the essence of their efforts. This means acknowledging their contributions and valuing the connection we share without the weight of demands. By doing so, we foster an atmosphere of trust and mutual respect, essential components for any thriving relationship. In practicing this mindful observation, we learn to navigate the complexities of emotional connections, recognizing that each interaction is a signpost guiding us through the landscape of our relationship. Allows us to respond rather than react. This perspective aligns with the Stoic principle of distinguishing between what we can control and what we cannot. While we cannot dictate how our partners behave, we can choose how we perceive and react to those behaviors. Ultimately, a Stoic mindset encourages a deeper understanding of ourselves and our relationships. By remaining grounded and open-hearted, we can foster bonds that are resilient and adaptable, capable of weathering the storms that life may bring. This approach not only enriches our connections, but also cultivates a sense of peace and contentment in our lives. In the realm of relationships, the practice of Stoicism can lead us to a more profound appreciation for the journey we share with our loved ones. By embracing the changes and nuances of our connections, we create space for authenticity and growth, allowing our relationships to thrive in a manner that honors both ourselves and those we care about. 8. Titled Embracing Emotional Wisdom: A Stoic Approach to Relationships. Adopting a Stoic mindset allows us to acknowledge our growing interests in others without becoming overly attached. This approach fosters a deeper understanding of their feelings while simultaneously enhancing our own emotional resilience. As we cultivate this awareness, we pave the way for healthier, more meaningful relationships. By recognizing the emotions of those around us without letting our desires dictate our responses, we create a space for genuine connection. This Stoic principle encourages us to appreciate others for who they are rather than who we wish them to be. We learn to value their perspectives, allowing empathy to guide our interactions. In practice, this means we listen actively, seeking to understand rather than to judge. By fostering a sense of detachment from the outcomes of our relationships, we free ourselves from the anxiety that often accompanies emotional investment. Instead of clinging to expectations, we embrace the present moment, appreciating the richness of our connections without the weight of possessiveness. Moreover, this emotional stability strengthens our ability to navigate the complexities of relationships. When we are not swayed by fleeting feelings, we can respond with clarity and purpose. This enables us to address conflicts calmly and constructively, nurturing an environment where open communication flourishes. The Stoic path teaches us that emotional understanding is not about suppressing our feelings, rather, it is about recognizing them without allowing them to dictate our actions. This balanced approach fosters healthier interactions and lays the groundwork for lasting bonds built on respect and mutual appreciation. Placing the Stoic perspective on emotional understanding not only enriches our personal lives, but also cultivates a sense of community and connection with those around us. By adopting this mindset, we embark on a journey toward deeper relationships that are rooted in emotional wisdom and resilience.